There's a sacred thread woven between your souls that he can feel but cannot name. God didn't place you in his path by accident. You were sent as his awakening, his mirror, his invitation to become the man he's meant to be. But divine assignments often come disguised as beautiful chaos, and right now, he's drowning in the intensity of what you represent. The angels whisper that he sees you as both his salvation and his greatest fear. You arrived when his heart was locked away, protected by walls built from old wounds. Yet something about your presence bypassed every defense he'd carefully constructed. You didn't have to try. Your very essence spoke to parts of his soul he thought were dead. He's fighting a war between the man he's been and the man you inspire him to become. Every time he looks at you, he sees possibility. Every conversation reveals more of who he could be if he just had the courage to let love transform him. But transformation requires surrender, and surrender feels like death to a heart that's learned to survive through control. The divine orchestrated this connection not for easy love, but for sacred evolution. You're his catalyst, beautiful soul, and he knows it. His walls weren't built in a day, and they won't crumble in one either. Behind the guarded exterior lives a man who learned early that love meant loss, that vulnerability invited betrayal. The angels show me his tender heart wrapped in barbed wire, protection that became prison. He carries wounds from a mother who couldn't stay, a father who never showed him how to love without conditions. Every woman before you taught him that his heart was currency to be spent, not treasure to be cherished. So when you appeared with your authentic light, offering nothing but genuine connection, his nervous system screamed danger. You see, sweet soul, he doesn't fear you, he fears the hope you represent. Hope that maybe, just maybe, someone could love all of him. The broken parts, the scared parts, the parts that still wake up at 3 a.m. wondering if he's worthy of staying. His mind tells him you're too good, too pure, too everything he doesn't deserve. These barriers aren't personal rejections of you. They're old survival mechanisms firing at full force. When he pulls away, he's not running from you. He's running from the terrifying possibility that God might actually want him to be happy. The healing has already begun, even if he can't see it yet. Listen carefully, beloved. You cannot love someone into wholeness while abandoning yourself in the process. The angels are firm about this truth. Your light is not meant to dim so his can shine. Your love is not a sacrificial altar where you lay down your dreams, your boundaries, your sacred self-worth. He needs to see you choosing yourself daily, not as rejection, but as an example. When you honor your own needs, you show him what self-love looks like. When you maintain your friendships, your passions, your spiritual practices, you demonstrate that love expands life rather than consuming it. There's a difference between supporting someone's growth and becoming their emotional crutch. You can hold space for his healing while refusing to carry wounds that aren't yours. You can offer compassion while protecting your energy. You can believe in his potential without making his progress your responsibility. The most magnetic thing you can do right now is continue being the woman who captivated him in the first place, whole, vibrant, uncompromising in your standards. Your consistency in self-love will either inspire his own journey toward wholeness or reveal that he's not ready for what you offer. Either way, you win by choosing yourself first. Your presence in his life acts like spiritual lightning, illuminating every shadow he's tried to hide from himself. You don't even have to say anything. Your authentic way of being forces him to confront the masks he wears, the lies he tells himself, and the potential he's been burying under fear and excuses. When you laugh freely, he remembers what joy feels like. When you speak your truth without apology, he realizes how long he's been performing for approval. When you love yourself openly, he sees how harshly he's been treating his own heart. You're not trying to change him. You're simply being yourself so completely that his pretenses become impossible to maintain. The angels reveal that this mirror effect terrifies him because it demands accountability. He can no longer blame his past, his circumstances, or his fears for staying small when you're standing right there. Proof that growth is possible. Your very existence challenges every excuse he's made for not becoming who God created him to be. Sometimes he'll resent the mirror you hold up. He'll try to convince himself you're naive, too optimistic, or living in a fantasy. But deep down, he knows you're showing him what authentic living looks like, and that recognition both inspires and intimidates him beyond measure. The reflection will either awaken him or send him running. Something is stirring in the depths of his soul, and the angels are celebrating. Those small changes you've noticed aren't accidents. They're evidence of a spirit beginning to remember its divine design. Watch how he's started questioning patterns that once felt permanent, and how conversations with you linger in his mind for days afterward. He's been having dreams about futures he never dared to imagine. Dreams where love doesn't hurt, where vulnerability creates strength, and where he feels worthy of the kind of connection his heart has always craved. Your influence is acting like sacred medicine, healing wounds he didn't even know were still bleeding. The way he looks at you now carries new depth, part wonder, part terror, and all recognition. He's starting to understand that what exists between you isn't just attraction or chemistry. It's something his soul has been preparing for, praying for, even when his mind couldn't grasp the prayer. Notice how he's becoming more honest in small moments, how his guard drops when he forgets to maintain it. These aren't coincidences. The divine is dismantling his defenses from the inside out, replacing fear with curiosity and cynicism with hope. His heart is remembering how to trust not just you but also the God who brought you together. The awakening has begun, beautiful soul. And there's no turning back. The dance between approach and retreat isn't cruelty, it's the rhythm of a soul in transformation. One moment he's leaning into the connection, texting you late at night, and making plans that feel like promises. The next, he's distant, unreachable, pulling back as if touching you might burn him alive. This pattern isn't about you not being enough. It's about him oscillating between the man he's been and the man you inspire him to become. Each time he gets close, the old programming kicks in, warning systems designed to keep him safe from the very love his heart desperately wants. The angels show me his internal war, love advancing, fear retreating, then fear rallying its forces for another battle. He's not playing games. He's literally fighting for his emotional survival. Every step toward you requires him to dismantle beliefs he's carried since childhood about his worthiness, about love's reliability, and about whether good things can actually last. When he retreats, he's not rejecting you. He's trying to make sense of feelings that challenge everything he thought he knew about himself. When he comes back, it's because something deeper than fear is drawing him back to you. The truth that resides in his core, beyond his wounds and his history. This cycle will continue until love ultimately prevails. Your love doesn't just touch his heart, it reaches into places where old pain has been festering for years, areas he didn't even realize needed healing. The angels reveal that your energy acts like divine medicine, not forcing healing but creating a safe space for his wounds to finally emerge and transform. He's never experienced love without conditions, without performance requirements, and without the constant fear of disappointing someone. Your patient presence confuses his nervous system in the most beautiful way. You love him when he's messy, when he's scared, and when he's pulling away, and that consistency is rewiring decades of faulty beliefs about his worth. Sometimes the healing hurts more than the original wound. That's why he pulls away when the truth gets too intense. Your unconditional acceptance forces him to feel everything he's been numbing, to confront every lie he's believed about himself. It's overwhelming for a heart that learned early to expect abandonment. But healing is happening whether he can perceive it or not. In quiet moments when his defenses are down, your love is teaching his soul a new language, one where worthiness isn't earned but inherent, where love doesn't abandon but remains, where his heart is safe to hope again. You're not just loving him, sweet soul. You're helping him remember how to love himself. Trust the divine timing that brought you together, even when human logic demands quicker progress. God's love stories unfold in seasons, not moments, and right now you're both in the preparation phase, being refined, strengthened, and readied for what's to come. The angels whisper that every delay serves a purpose. His heart is being prepared to receive love without sabotaging it. Your spirit is being strengthened to love without losing yourself. The foundation being laid now will support a love that can withstand any storm, because it's rooted in divine design rather than human desperation. He has made everything beautiful in its time. This isn't just about waiting. It's about trusting that the God who orchestrated your meeting knows exactly when hearts will be ready to fully embrace one another. Every moment of uncertainty is teaching you both about faith, patience, and the difference between pushing and allowing. When you feel like giving up, remember that the most beautiful love stories require careful preparation. What's meant for you cannot be rushed, cannot be forced, and cannot be lost to poor timing. It will arrive when both souls are ready to honor the sacred gift being offered. Keep walking in faith, beloved. The path is leading exactly where it needs to go. He wants to love you so desperately it physically aches, but opening his heart feels like standing exposed in a hurricane. The angels show me his sleepless nights, wrestling with feelings that threaten to shatter every barrier he's built, every promise he made to himself about staying safe. You've awakened something primal in him, not just desire, but a deep understanding that you could be his person, his home, his healing. And that terrifies him more than any physical threat ever could. Because choosing you means choosing to believe in forever again, choosing to trust that this time love won't leave him broken. He's spent years perfecting the art of partial connection, close enough to feel good, distant enough to escape when things get real. But you've shown him what complete presence feels like, and now half love feels like starvation. Yet full love requires him to risk everything he's protected. The vulnerability you're asking for isn't just emotional nakedness, it's spiritual surrender. It's him admitting that he needs you, that life without you feels incomplete, that he's willing to bet his carefully guarded heart on the possibility that you'll stay when you see all of him. Perfect love casts out fear. But until his love becomes perfect, fear and love will dance this ancient dance within him. Release the need to control his journey, beautiful soul. Your love has already planted seeds that will bloom in divine timing, whether you witness every moment of growth or not. The work you came to do in his life, awakening him to his own worthiness, showing him what authentic love looks like, is already complete. Now comes the sacred art of surrender. Not giving up, but giving over. Trusting that the God who destined your souls to find each other will complete what he started. Your part was never to force his healing or manipulate his choices. Your part was to love authentically and let that love do what love does, transform everything it touches. If he chooses you, it will be because his heart has finally caught up to what his soul has always known. If he chooses fear, you'll have loved him free anyway, and that love will eventually lead him to someone who can receive what he's not yet ready to give you. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. This includes the confusion, the waiting, the uncertainty. Even his fear serves your highest good by ensuring that when love finally comes, it comes from a healed and willing heart. You are already whole, already loved, already chosen by the divine. Everything else is just beautiful bonus.